Roberto, some have raised the question as to whether John Stones should be a starter for England, given that the England squad is named today, and obviously he's not getting a regular start here at the moment. What would you say to that?
Well, I think you need to look at the numbers. I think John Stones has already had 22 starts in our season, and he's grown immensely. Still only 21, and he doesn't play like a 21 years old. What I would say is that this season, John picked up a little injury, and he needed a little period of regenerate. And what we want is for him to finish the season really, really strong. We're going into the final 10 games of the campaign. We in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and it's been a lot of football thrown at John in the last 3 seasons. But if you look at it, his stats gradually, he's playing more minutes. His body's getting adapted to the needs and the intensities of that position. And John, as a 21 years old, for us is had a really important role, and he'll carry on doing that. There are not many centre halves that at the age of 21 they play over 70-75% of the minutes in the Premier League. That's how impressive he's been this season. That he hasn't been playing in the last few games. That's just down to him picking up an injury and needing a little bit of a rest. And we got really good competition in the squad as well. And Phil Jagielka and Ramiro Funes Mori done really well, and that's what you want. But John is working extremely well, and his influence in the team has been the best that we've had so far.
What then does he have to do to get that next opportunity?
No, the opportunity started at the weekend. In the last league game, he started, and is a vital part of our plans. But I'm sure that we all understand that John Stones now carries an expectation, and it carries a spotlight that is just down to the potential that he shows and the qualities that he's shown already. And I think everyone at Everton, at our football club, and John himself, we understand that. And the only thing that matters is to prepare well for the game and be part of a winning team.
I think it's probably the West Ham game that raised the question that maybe you need to be playing with the 3 for John to be playing. Is that not the case? You see him still as part of a back 4?
Of course, yeah. No, I think as a team, I always said as a modern team, we need to be flexible, and tactically we need to be able to play in different systems, and some systems will suit certain players better. But I think as a whole, John is still a young man that is developing all the time, but is a need for us as a team to be able to play different systems. And clearly the options in the squad are there, the numbers in the squad are there, and it's something that we'll carry on doing from now till the end.
And given the England squad is named today, just wonder what you think of the merits of maybe Tom Cleverley and particularly Aaron Lennon getting the recall.
I just feel that the national team manager Roy Hodgson has got a fantastic group of players to choose from, and obviously that's not my job to highlight any of the players that they can represent the country. I wouldn't do that. He's got his experience, and he's been following players. From our point of view, it's been great to see Aaron Lennon's form. I think it's been really, really impressive. Not just in the effect that he had in the players around him, it's just the way that he's been very influential in everything that is happening in the final third. His performances, they've been really, really strong. Tom Cleverley, again, brings that know-how of the British game. For us, they've been 2 very important players, but again, I'm sure that Roy Hodgson will have a huge amount of players to choose from, which is very healthy for English football.
I was asking what more you can say about Romelu Lukaku, with 6 goals in his last 6 games in all competitions, 18 Premier League goals and 6 assists. Only Mahrez has been involved in more goals in the Premier League this season. Yet Romelu himself says he still needs to get better. So where can he improve?
Well, I think we all tend to assess players through what they do on the pitch, and obviously the technical aspects and the physical aspects, and you can go on and all that. I think Rom, the big difference on him is the mentality. He's a winner. He's got the focus of becoming the best that he can be, and that means that whatever he achieves, he's always got that behavior of coming in training and wanting to improve in certain aspects of the game. You can never be perfect, and as a player you want to become better, but clearly he's in a very good moment of form. You see him how focal he's been in everything we do in the final third. Still at 22 is such a young man, but so experienced at the same time that it's important that we carry on with that level until the end of the season. And clearly, his focus is to do that. If he wants to improve, it's going to allow him to carry on with this level.
And how do you balance your squad and the need to keep your important players fit when you want to improve your league position, but also you have a semi-final to think about as well?
No, I think we're going to approach it in the same manner we did in the last 8 games since we finished our role in the League Cup. Every game has been very much approached in the same manner. It doesn't matter what competition you go in, we have to perform in the best possible way. And you're looking at those 8 games, we had 6 wins, 2 defeats, 18 goals scored, only 5 goals conceded, 3 of those in 12-minute period when we were with 10 men. So we've been very, very consistent in that period, and we want to carry on with that going forward. We got 10 games in the league. It's 30 points to fight for, and we need to replicate that consistency that we've shown in the last 8 games. And clearly, every game for us, for different reasons, is going to be vitally important.
And are you able to put the semi-final to one side, and do you have a preference, given that the draw's now been made, as to who you would like to face at Wembley?
No. I think when you get into that stage of the competition, coping with playing at Wembley and the footballing occasion that represents is more important than the opposition you're facing. Whoever you're going to be facing a semi-final is because they got a winning formula. That's why they got into that stage. So we'll respect every opponent, but in the same way is a reward for our fans. It's been a day that we always been chasing for a long time, being able to go back to Wembley and face a big footballing occasion. So from that respect, is to see how good we can be in a foreign environment.
And after such a big occasion at Goodison Park last week, is it good to follow it up with another big game against a side like Arsenal?
Well, it is, yeah. We all know that obviously the period now that we're going into is going to be really different. We got Arsenal at home, which they are a team that, in my eyes, they still with a real good opportunity to win in the league. I know that a lot has been said about Leicester, and rightly so, because the distance that they have, the 5 points lead that they have at this moment is a huge gap. But the 3-point system, the distances are smaller than people think. And for me, Arsenal, with the experience that they have, the know-how, the clarity and the way they play football, it doesn't matter what pressure is on them, they will always play with a certain style, and been very, very good in that style. And I just feel that Arsenal are still strongly title contenders, and that's what we're going to be facing at Goodison. And we need to face it with the same incredible environment that we had against Chelsea. And it's an important game before we break up for the international week. So all the focus goes to try to replicate the level of performance that we had in the quarter-final of the FA Cup.
Well, then, do you make of the pressure that seems to be mounting around Arsene Wenger and his position as manager?
I think it just shows you is the times that we live in. The modern times is almost a need of having an opinion and criticising the losing team. In a game, you're going to have a team winning, a team losing, or 2 teams drawing, and it seems now it doesn't matter what you've done in a football club, it doesn't matter how you build a football club, it doesn't matter if you've been the best manager in the last 20 years in European football. It doesn't matter. The modern game is ruthless, and at the back of a defeat you're going to get criticised, and everyone has got an opinion and everyone knows better than you, and that's disappointing.
But I suppose the fans and the critics will point to a lack of a trophy and missing perhaps an opportunity, albeit, as you say, they're still in the title race this season, but they feel that they're underachieving. Of
course, I'm not the man to answer that sort of question. What I am is I know what Arsene Wenger has done as a manager, bringing a very clear way of working, a completely different new approach into football. I think the management that he brought into the British game has changed British football, and what is achieved at Arsenal is a model that many footballing people has been inspired by. And obviously the short-term situation of 1 or 2 results sometimes overshadows the incredible work over the years. The way that you are as a manager, you're an attacking manager or you're a defensive manager, I think the style, what Arsene Wenger represents, is something that shouldn't be just put aside. And for me, it is just a reflection of the modern times when we so easily led to criticise a manager that is done incredible things in the game.
How do you deal with that yourself, Roberto?
You can only
When that criticism comes your way.
we understand it's part of the job. I said it many times. You win a game and you're a genius. You lose a game and it's the worst thing it could ever happen to be leading the football club. But I think the focus as a manager is to help the team to become better and prepare the team in a better way for the next game. And then after the season, after 10 months, you can see things and people can look into the improvement or not, or the way that the team has been playing and the direction that the football club is going. And that clearly is the vision and the overall approach of a season that matters.
No Gareth Barry for the next 2 games. You're aware that he's only Andrew Sermon has covered more distance than him in the Premier League this season. So
Yeah.
how do you replace that?
But I think it's a very interesting start, because I don't think many people, when you watch Gareth play, you wouldn't come up with that statistic that Gareth probably is one of the players that he covers the ground. Not just the amount of running that he does, is how clever he is with his tactical position and the way he covers other players and the way he reads a game. At the age of 35, to be able to have the physicality to do that is impressive. Of course, we're going to miss him. We only got 2 players that they've been ever present this season in the Premier League, and he is one of those. And clearly, these 2 games is going to be missed. But in the same way, is an international break in the middle. I think we're going to use it to regenerate him and give him a proper break to make sure that he's as strong as he can be for the final part of the campaign, and I think we're gonna get the rewards of that.
Besic ready to start as you got to the full root of the problems that
Yes, we all know Mo had a really good period when he was fully fit and played at a very good level, and he's shown no signs of any reaction in his soft tissue problem. So it's a good opportunity for Mo now to step into the team.
And Oviedo, okay?
Brian has lost a considerably amount of weight, as you would expect. He's all clear. He trained yesterday already in an individual manner. On Friday, I expect him to maybe join the group on Friday and being able to make a better decision if he's going to be involved on Saturday or not. But he's not going to be too far from being available for the weekend.
And Leighton Baines now, is he pain-free with you?
It's been good. I think Leighton, we found the right solution, and it's been a lot freer. It's great to see him free. It's great to see him performing in the way that he did at the weekend, and we need to make sure that we can find a way to do that until the end of the season.
Any further talks as well with the new major shareholder? Or is he there this
No. He wasn't happy with the 2-0 win. Obviously, he wanted a 4 or 5-0 win, and you can see how his standards are very, very high.
Roberto, you speak about that criticism of Arsene Wenger. Do you think it's disappointing, given what he's done and the way that some modern managers now don't get the time that Arsene has had when they're not winning trophies?
Well, you don't. No, what you feel is that is such a successful figure that he shares. I think his method of work follows a vision, and there are not many managers that they've got that vision, that they're going to do certain steps to improve the football clubs and to take them into the next level. And you see the work that is done, and it is disappointing when it gets judged just on the short term of winning one game or not. Of course, that's the modern time that we live in, and the expectations, and we need to be aware of that. But is someone that he has changed British football, and he has inspired a new generation, and it's disappointing when we're quite narrow-minded when you read those sort of assessments.
One win in the last 18 games against Arsenal. What makes them so difficult to beat?
One win against.
One win in the last 18 in all competitions against Arsenal. Just what makes them so difficult to beat?
No, the thing is, I don't think it's any secret. I think Arsenal are a very, very good team, and I think you showed over the years since Arsene Wenger has been there, the idea of the way they are as a team, a very technical side that they based in possession, technically a really, really good side, and they are a side that they are built to win titles. So I don't think it's a statistic that it would surprise you. I think I'm looking at the last 4 or 5 games that we played, and we've been in every single game. We created 2 or 3 very good performances at Goodison. I'm looking at the last 2 games that we had in the league at Goodison. We had a 2-goal lead, and we couldn't hold on, and we conceded in the last minute. Before that, we had a really strong win. We kept a clean sheet. We were very, very superior. But in the same way, the only defeat that we had this season away from home has been at the Emirates in a very close game. But you're going to see a game played in a very similar manner by 2 teams, that the margins are going to be small, but both teams looking to get on the ball, both teams with a very strong technical approach to the game, and I expect a very close game. I don't think the stat is going to have much significance at the weekend.
Just how much did that win against Chelsea give you a boost, and the manner of the win as well going into this game?
Yeah, I think is for many reasons. Of course, you get good performances, and then you wrap it up with the 90 minutes, and you get a good result, and that stays there. And I think you need to take it into the next game. When you do that in a cup competition, where the reward is to get a semi-final at Wembley, I think it magnifies the good work that it was done on the pitch. I think it magnifies the good work that has been done over the season and the good signs that we showed, and maybe the little reward that we had for those good signs and good moments. So it was good at the weekend to show the way that we learned from the pain, and in the previous game, the way that it was a complete performance. It was a very good game from both teams, that it was going to go down to very key moments. We produced those key moments with the 2 goals from Romelu Lukaku, but then to be able to manage the game at that point and keeping a clean sheet and getting to Wembley probably showed a sign of maturity and lessons well learned over the season in order to achieve what we achieved.
Just finally, have you set yourself any target for the remaining games of the season in the Premier League?
Well, the target is to be as good as we can from game to game. I think the squad now is in a very, very good moment. We got really good competition for places, and that's the only focus that we have. Make sure that the players can maintain the level of fitness now. I think we are in a very good moment in every aspect, and we need to maintain that in the next 8 weeks. And obviously the international break is going to be the final point that we could lose those levels. So the attention is going to be individually during that period, but from that is just facing every game in the best possible way.
Roberto, you spoke in glowing terms of Arsenal and said that many people have been inspired by him. I mean, when you were first starting out in management, was that someone you looked at as well?
Well, obviously I was I was a young man growing up in Spain. Obviously my influence, they are probably different, but you can see what Arsene Wenger has done at Arsenal, and the long spell that he had is brought a different way of working and a methodology that is being followed throughout. So clearly it's been inspirational for many managers.
And in terms of that 20 years, I mean, you were at Wigan for 4 years. That's quite long in terms of Premier League managers. I mean, can 20 years almost be unhealthy to be at a club for that long in the way that modern football is now, do you think?
Not at all. I think it's one of the biggest challenges that you're going to have as an individual to last with constantly being able to have that drive and that hunger to develop new vision all the time and making the right decisions for the good of the football club. I think that's a very strong challenge for an individual. The other way around is a gift. If you find a man that is constantly innovative, that he can inspire people around him, that he's got that vision of never being happy with where the club is, and bringing a new stadium, bringing a new way of working all the time. That just these people don't come along too often.
So just check, was there any decision as regards futures of Pienaar, Gibson, Osman?
No. As you can imagine, now we got the period of the 8-9 weeks that we got left in the season is for the team, and then at the end of the season we'll go into individual situations.
And the season possibility of a world title fight at Goodison Park, Tony Bellew?
Yes, a proper opportunity to see a great Evertonian enjoying Goodison in a different manner, and we'll all be behind him if that could happen.
Another big event this weekend, Junior Fan Day. Tell us about it.
Another good initiative. We always we enjoyed that in previous seasons, and it's just to show that we care about the new generation, the new group of young Evertonians coming to Goodison, enjoying Goodison, making Goodison a younger place and a place full of energy. And we're very much looking forward to that initiative. And I believe we got a young Roberto today, so I don't know if you want to ask a couple of questions. There's a lot more. Hello again. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, ready for today? Do you want to sit down? Come on. They're gonna ask you difficult questions, so be careful.
Okay.
Mini Roberto, your first press conference. I believe you've watched training, so who has impressed you most in this Everton squad?
Alan he's phenomenal, and Sparkly because he's a diamond.
Handle it better than the boss.
Absolutely, you can stay there again. Well done. Perfect.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Roberto.
Well done.